Hello everyone, let's get back to our history lesson. As you see in my previous video, we have studied about the 6th great Mughal emperor who ruled over India from 15th to 17th century. So now we will go back in time and see what happened in our western countries in 14th to 17th century during our Renaissance period. Time before Renaissance period. The fall of Byzantine and Roman Empire at the hands of the Ottomans also played a role. When the Ottomans sacked Constantinople in 1453, so here Constantinople, which was a capital of Roman Empire at that time. So from there, many scholars fled to Europe, bringing the Greek and Roman classical texts with them, which are also known as manuscripts, which created an atmosphere for a revival in learning, that is the rebirth of cultural renaissance period. Renaissance is a period of cultural rebirth. Its influence can still be felt today. It typically refers to a period in European history between 14th century to 17th century, and it is also regarded as the cultural bridge between Middle Ages and the modern history. So this Renaissance movement began in Florence, that is in Italy, in the late 13th century. So Florence is the source of the beginning of the idea that led to the Renaissance period. So now we will talk about how did the Renaissance period begin. So during this Renaissance period, people had started taking interest in the learning of ancient times, that is of ancient Greek and Rome. It was seen as a rebirth of learning. Now we will mainly focus on three aspects of Renaissance period. The first one is Reformation. So there were new reformation that had taken place during the Renaissance period. The second is religion. So we will talk something about the religion during this period. And the third one is geographical discoveries. So there were many geographical discoveries that had taken place during this Renaissance period. So now we'll talk about Reformation in art. Renaissance art was one of the most influential aspects on Europe. Florence and Rome in particular were responsible for a new breed of artists who would prove to be masters in their field. So we have some of the famous artists that are, the first one is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci paintings are characterized by innovative techniques that makes the most use of light and tone. Some of our famous paintings are The Last Supper. This painting depicts the key moment in which Jesus takes supper with his disciples and tells them that one of them will betray him. And the second painting is the famous painting, as we all know, Mona Lisa. This painting is full of enigmatic facial expression and is also considered to be Leonardo's iconic piece of work. Another famous artist is Michelangelo. His one of the best known work is that of the painting of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. The design of the ceiling mainly comprises 9 scenes from the book of Genesis. Our third famous artist is Raphael. Raphael is also well remembered for his smaller Florentine picture, that is the Sistine Madonna, which is his iconic work of art even to this day. Now we will talk about some of the reformation, that is some of the discoveries that had taken place in science and technology during our Renaissance period. The first one is the Copernican planisphere. So this is the picture which is published in 1543. In the early 15th century, when virtually everyone believed that Earth was the center of the universe. So, a great scientist, Nicholas Copernicus, proposed that the planets instead revolve around the Sun. It positioned the Sun near the center of the universe, motionless, with Earth, and the other planets rotating around it in a circular path, modified by epicycle and at uniform speed. The second one we have our telescope. So telescope makes distant things look bigger, closer and brighter. So it was Hans Lippershey who was a German-Dutch spectacle maker. So he is known as the first person to build a telescope. The third one we have a printed press machine. So it was developed in Europe by Johannes Gutenberg in 1440. This printing press machine had allowed Bibles, secular books, printed music and more to be made in larger amount to reach more people. The fourth one we have, that is the pocket watch. So it was Peter Henlin who created the first pocket watch, which was strictly mechanical driven by clockwork. Our third aspect of Renaissance period, that is geographical discoveries. So we have some of our famous explorers that are Vasco da Gama. So his initial voyage to India was the first to link Europe and Asia by an ocean route connecting the Atlantic and Indian Ocean and thereafter the West and the Orient. This is widely considered a milestone in world history as it marked the beginning of the sea-based phase of global multiculturalism. Vasco da Gama's discovery of the sea route to India opened the way for an age of global imperialism and enabled the Portuguese to establish a long-lasting colonial empire in Asia. The second one we have Christopher Columbus. So in 1492, Christopher Columbus tried to sail through the Atlantic Pacific Ocean in order to reach the eastern coast of India. He could not, so a huge chunk of land was in his way, which was not known before. So these were the Americas that Columbus had discovered. He landed in the modern day of Central America, which he was sure was the coast of India. So he named it the West Indies. He landed in San Salvador in modern day Bahamas. The third explorer we have is Amerigo Vespucci. Amerigo Vespucci of Italy was the first or second one to be to the Southern Americas. This continent was named after this man who went a little ahead in South America to reach further than Brazil in modern day Argentina. This continent was named America after Amerigo. He explored Brazil in his first voyage and he went further south till Patagonia in Argentina in his second voyage.